Halt! What business have you in Cottonwood Cove, outsider? You wear the mark of Caesar. You must be who Cursor Lucullus is waiting for. You may continue, but be warned. Mark or no, we will not tolerate aggressive action by visitors in the camp.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursor Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. That it would be a woman is even more surprising. Women are physically and intellectually inferior to men. Their role is to bear children and ensure the survival of our species. Not to say that all women are equally incapable. I trust Caesar will find a worthy use for you. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items. I know not why Caesar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Caesar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave.
So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time. That's why I summoned you here, right? I mean, a man nearly kills you, and your response is to track him across the breadth of the Mojave? You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat? You visit the tops, and next thing you know, the head of the chairman is fleeing the strip like a whimpering little pup? When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? The time is fast approaching when my Legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip Benny was carrying when we captured him. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. Benny's theory, if I understood it through all the screaming, was that Mr. House stashed some kind of ultimate weapon down there. A gigantic robot to stomp us all to death. Who cares? Whatever it is, House built it. So I want it destroyed. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Talk to Benny on your way out. He knows I'm going to let you decide how he dies. Maybe you want to remind him.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation. Did I say I blame society? I know why I'm here, baby. Do you? Down to brass tacks. How'd your meet and greet with Baldy go? Sure. Baldy wants you to go down there in the bunker and destroy whatever Mr. House stashed there. Oh, you don't want to do that, baby. Whatever's down in that bunker is the key to the city called Vegas. So here's what you do. You go down there and you use the chip to do whatever Mr. House would have wanted you to do. And when you get back to the Strip, you find Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Dig? I'm the most interesting person I know. Now, in the way back, we called ourselves the Boot Riders. Silly name, but that's how we rode the Mojave, dig? On our feet. We were nomadic badasses not to be trifled with, a gang of ruffians, though with a certain panache. When House gave us the tops to renovate, his robots dropped off boxes full of suits and ties and wingtip shoes. Told us we were the chairman now. That caused an uproar, but I said the name sticks. Chow to the old ways, baby. Time to swing in style. If the shoes fit, you wear them. 7 years. Took over 3 days after Mr. House introduced himself. Our chief at the time, mountain of a guy named Bingo, wanted to stay nomadic. I disagreed, so he challenged me to the knife. He looked so surprised when I stuck that knife in his neck. Thought he was so tough, but he was so slow. That's how I made chief. It's how things were back then. We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up. So we listened. Said we'd been selected. Vegas needed us to defend it. In exchange, we'd get cushy digs, full stomachs, medical treatment. Everything a nomad never gets, in other words. Most of the tribe thought we should say no. I thought it was the best idea ever. I prefer the term relocated. It took every stealth boy I had to cross the river at Cottonwood Cove. That was a close shave, riding a boat full of Legion boys. Once I was across, I changed into a uniform I swiped off a dead legionary outside Nelson. Tried to sneak into the bunker, but that didn't work out. They found the chip. I wasn't gonna tell them what it was used for, but let's just say they were persuasive. Go on. Try not to smile so wide, baby. You might break your mouth. Yeah, Baldy said you'd get to decide. So which way you leaning? I know, so many options. How do you choose just one? Ta-ta. Sing, baby. You got a captive audience. Sweet to offer, baby, but if you cut these ropes, every legionary in this camp's gonna come running. With machetes. Now, on the other hand, if I had a stealth boy and a bobby pin, I could see myself out. Know what I mean? Baby, if you show me the door to Scramsville, that's where I'll go. Out of your hair, never to return. I've been a fink to you. Caused more than my share of grief by a hard mile. Let me go. You won't see me again. Check's in the mail, hey? Don't get my hopes up. Ta-ta.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops? Oh, great. The followers of the apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology, how he stays alive. Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Well, except for you. Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive for all these years. It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help, many of whom suffer from hard-to-diagnose illnesses. Ah, I see. I suppose I can give you some medical supplies for your efforts. I assure you they will be worth plenty of caps. Great! I'll have the medical supplies for you by the time you come back. Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
Well, you're here, eh? This is where I wanted you to end up after all. I knew I could rely on Caesar to give... Hence, Benny was captured or killed, possibly by you, but by my estimates, far more probably by Caesar's Legion. Hence, Caesar gave you the chip. Hence, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me. It's a facility I built many years before you were born. You might think of it as a kind of barracks. You'll understand soon enough. That's rather obvious, isn't it? The Platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. My army will do what an army does best. Defend territory from invaders and maintain order. Good. I won't hold you up any longer. Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again. You're free to leave.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. There are rewards for doing as I command. Today, your reward is vengeance. You get to decide how Benny dies. Go to Benny. Let him know what you've decided. My Praetorians will perform the execution, unless you want to perform it yourself. You need to work on your bloodthirst. We won't speak again until Benny is dead. Walk away if you want, but if you do, he's going up on a cross. You're still making a choice.
So, baby, what did you find down there? So, all this time, the old man had an entire army on layaway? Clever player. Just imagine the look on Baldy's face when those Securitrons come pouring out on Judgment Day. I'd pay to have that bronzed. So all you gotta do is talk to Yes Man. Figure out how to set things in motion. Make Vegas a town I would have been proud of, baby. Let it swing. I see. And how's that gonna happen? Yeah, we talked about it, but that went a big fat nowhere. It's too late for that, baby. This decision you gotta make is going down now. So what's it gonna be? Baby, your generosity and spirit of forgiveness? Off the charts. This little care pack...
Another...